So this is the isometric figure that I would be 3D modeling. Let's start by dividing this particular figure into some features. First off, I can see this particular front plane having an L feature. So the front plane is the plane that is denoted with the X mark and an arrow. So there is a big L shape over here which is having this big fillet, and then we have some smaller extrudes made over here with this particular curved cutout and this inclined plane. And don't forget this slot section. So let's start 3D modeling this figure. We will create a new part under SolidWorks. We will create a sketch in the front plane as discussed previously, and I would like to keep this origin as the bottom left hand corner of this particular L shape. Now I'll give some relations. I'll say that this is horizontal. That's done. Now I need to add some dimensions. The length is 64. The width of this particular feature over here is 16. So I will say that this is 64 and this is 16. This is 96. And the height is 16, but I would like to make a modification on this particular sketch. It's not a modification as of such, but it's a kind of shortcut that I will be using over here. It will just save some time. You'll understand once I do it. So I will just dimension this to be 16 plus 28. And I'll exit the sketch since the sketch is fully constrained. So, or let's not exit the sketch, we'll go back in the sketch. And I'll create that slope feature in this corner also. So I'll create this particular slope feature and I'll dimension this point to the bottom. Okay, so let's dimension that again. This point to this bottom edge is supposed to be 16. According to the dimensions in the figure, and from here to here, so this will be equal to 16 plus 8 plus 24 plus 8. So let's do that over here directly. So from here to here, this will be 8 plus 8 plus 24. Let's double check that that was 24. This was 24. Okay. So now I can go ahead and trim some features over here, some lines, and I don't need these lines. I'll go ahead and add this dimension quickly. Since in red out of dimension this is 44. Now we'll exit the sketch. We will go and create this extrude boss base. I will select this particular figure and I will extrude it to right about 64. This is it. Now I'll go ahead and I'll make a sketch on this plane. I will go normal to the sketch and I'll create that rough cutout section which we saw previously in the diagram of that isometric view. So something like this. Okay, so this is not exactly the center line, so I'll have to just go ahead and trim this entity, and this entity. So I don't want it to be center line because then it will create some kind of errors while further designing it. Now I'll go ahead and add some dimensions. Now this was supposed to be 28, I believe. No, that was not 28. So we know this dimension, that is 22. So we'll dimension that. So let's just dimension. We'll just remove this dimension. I will delete this dimension. I'll say the dimension from here to here is 22. And what is this width? This width is given as 12. So we are fully constrained. We can go right ahead, exit a sketch, and then we can say extrude cut. We don't want it through all, so we'll select blind and we'll select the depth. Our depth what we require is 28. This is it, and we are almost getting a shape. So we'll select this edge, this surface, and I will go normal to this, and I will create a center line right from the center of that particular edge, and I'll create an center line arc from here to here, and I will close this particular figure. Now let's give it some dimension. This particular dimension is supposed to be 24, I believe, in diameter. So let's double check it. It's 24. So the radius will be half of 24, that will be 12. We can go right ahead and exit a sketch, and we can say extrude cut. I will say extrude cut through all. This is a feature. Now what's left is this particular slot section over here, so I'll go right ahead and create a sketch on this plane, on the surface, sorry, and then I will see what's the slot dimensions. So as you can see that the slot is 16 by 20, so let's do that. That is 16 by 20. I will just create this slot menu. I'll keep one point over here and another point here, and I'll just create this rough figure. Let's dimension this. From this mid plane or the mid line to here is 16. Then this to here is okay, so I did a mistake here. I should undo it. So let's dimension that part again, or that sketch again. From here to here, this is 16. Oh, so this also didn't get dimension. This is 16. What else is remaining? So okay, so this is remaining. This is 20. So let's dimension this point to this line. This is 20. And we are fully constrained. We can exit a sketch and go under features and say extrude cut, and this time I'll say through all, and we are done with the figure. So let's just say I want to view it in isometry. Okay, then let's double check if we are not missed out on any features. Yes, this one feature is left out. That is a fillet, the big fillet. So we'll select this fillet, and just want this edge, and I will say that I want the radius to be 48. So I'm facing an issue. Let me select this edge here. Radius to be 48. This is how a figure should look like.